Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Wednesday, May the 25th. The year's 2022. Let's talk trading. Risk, part 15 with Walmal. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine and differ from Walmal's. Walmal, an unusual day for you.
Yeah, not been a good day, that's for sure. But it's part of trading, and you just got to go and go with where it takes you. I was my first trade out of the box. I went and lost a bunch, probably about probably about a third of what I'm willing to go and lose money wise, maybe a little bit more than that. Second trade, I was up, and I was up, made up that loss, and was able to go and not only make up that loss, but even go and put myself ahead. My third trade, I was up a little bit further. Fourth trade, next thing you know, I'm down. I'm down even worse than I was the very first trade. Took another trade and back up again, and just back and forth like that all over the place. Just not working out very well. And finally, just I just said, okay, I'm done. I said to you, TRO, I'm done for the day. I'm down, a tiny bit, not very much, but probably the equivalent of like 1 pip for the day I'm down, but it's just like, why am I trading? Why am I beating my head against the wall? I've been doing this now for 3 hours, and I'm not getting anywhere. And now I'm getting frustrated and tired. That's not a good combination when you're sitting here trying to trade. It's just not not a good place to have a good headspace. And it was just one of those days where every time it seemed like I didn't break any of my rules for any of my entries, and every time I pulled the trigger, I was telling you that I was down at least 2, 3, 4 pips every time I pulled the trigger, and I'm battling my way back out, every single time. And I don't know why the market was moving like that. Of course, now it doesn't look that bad. It looks like it's moving relatively smoothly, but for those 3 hours that I traded, it was just like damaging to the soul, let's say.
Well, I pulled up an H1 chart and I noticed from bar 1 through 4 we have 22, 23, 23, 24 pip range. So it looks like it was, and those the past 3 hours are kind of within that range between about 2500 and 2483-ish area. So it's been
Yep.
basically oscillating between, say, the 90, 2490 and 2500 lines here.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it's been doing. And normally, for me, for the methods I trade, you know, that's actually not bad. That's usually a pretty good thing. It just seems like, for whatever reason, the the pound, for whatever reason, seemed like it was, a pound on drugs, I guess, because it was just fluttering back and forth and just not making any sense out of some of the movements it was making. I get a signal that, when you look at it from a statistical point of view, that's a really good signal to take. And even going and getting confluence of influence, meaning that I got not just one signal but two signals, sometimes three signals, and you go in and it just immediately goes against you. But doesn't that tell you something about trading? You can have, every single thing that you think should happen and everything that statistically should happen, doesn't mean it's going to happen. Should and going don't equal each other,
Right.
and we just have to go and realize that and say, hey, sometimes that's the way it is. And, at some point in time, you just go and say, it's just not worth the risk. And that's what I did. I just pulled the plug and said, that's it. I'm done. I'm not gonna risk it anymore. It's just not worth it. We'll come back tomorrow, and hopefully tomorrow is a better day. And we just move on from that, and that's just how we have to deal with things.
Yeah, well, I noticed I pulled up an M5 chart, 5-minute chart here, and it seems like there's a lot of outside bars. Um,
Yep.
we just had an inside bar close, but let's see, 4 bars ago was an outside bar. Um, it's just a lot of outside bars.
Yeah, and the thing because I love trading, and maybe that was part of my problem today, is because I love trading outside bars. I love trading inside bars as well, but outside bars, I've been, it's one of those things where usually I pick up a lot of pips that way, just trading those guys. But it seemed like so many times, you go and take the trade on the outside bar, and let's say you went long, but as soon as I press the button, you get the spike on that very candle that you're in, and you get in at the spike, and then it turns around and goes against you. I mean, a perfect example of that is if you look at the one candle prior to the beginning of this current hour. That's an outside bar right there.
Right.
Classic. And then what I did was that I traded that, and as soon as it went and broke the peak of it, I went in on it, and when I went in on it, it immediately jumped. I don't know, probably 2-3 pips against me. Let me go measure and see. It jumped on my chart. We're probably using different brokers, but mine it went 3 pips against me. Immediately went 3 pips against me. And so, and the way it went 3 pips against me was that it went. It got me at the very top of the spike of that next candle, and then it started to fall, and it was like, okay, we're done here. That's not going to work out. Take the loss, and and that's just the type of day I've been having.
Yeah, I can. I understand that. Now, just for the boys and girls and non-binary traders out there, when you say you trade outside bars, what are you doing?
What I'm doing is I take the break of the outside bar on either side, because what I like to do is because usually when you have an outside bar, it's going to go and break. It's going to go and expand that bar. And that's just what I've seen in the past, and it's observation. And so I usually just go and try to trade it and just grab 1 or 2 pips and get out. Just try to grab a little bit, just a smash and grab type of trade. And that if you do that a number of times a day, because the pound puts up a lot of outside bars in general, and if you can do that consistently over and over during the day, you can pick up a lot of pips during the day. Well, today it just if you just look at all those outside bars, you can see how often it put in an outside bar, and if you're taking a trade, it ran back to the middle of that outside bar again, and it just seemed to do that a lot today. I probably had 2 or 3 trades that went south against me, went bad against me, just because of that not working. I don't think I had a single winning outside bar trade today.
Yeah, because I just noticed that inside bar trade did, if you took that first trade, it then sent you down underwater by, let's see, the low of this bar was 949, and the high of the other bar was 982. So if you jumped in right around 98, you're going to be 3 or 4 pips underwater, or about 3 pips underwater there for a while. It just spiked to 2,500. So I guess there was an opportunity to take a couple of pips. But one thing I noticed though, were you going short on your or long on these outside bar trades or combo?
Combo. I was
Well,
doing a combo.
yeah, because see, we're below the daily open, and I'm just wondering, um, if you're trying to go long.
fight today. Yeah, I was. It actually came down to a combination of both. I knew that today was a down day, but when you're only trying to get a pip or two, I don't look at the daily candle as much as I probably should, because normally if you're only trying to get a pip or two, you're usually safe with that. When you're trying to get more than that, then yeah, that's when the daily candle becomes a whole lot more relevant to me. But I don't think on any of those trades I went against the M30, or I don't think I went against the M30 on any of those trades when I went and took them. But that's, again, that's I'm not whining.
Yeah.
It's just the reality of what happens, and you have to go and look at this as a source of encouragement too, because I'm up a tremendous number of pips since last. I closed my. I'm going to close my books out for the week today, just because of some personal things going on. But you know, the reality is that I'm up tremendously between Monday and Tuesday, you know, and Friday of last week. So between those 3 days, I'm a mess. You know, okay, so I had a day where I didn't do so well, but I didn't damage my account. I followed the rules in that way. I didn't damage the account. So, you know, but that's just part of trading.
So bringing this back to risk, you decided not to risk anymore.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. You know, bringing it back to risk, I decided not to risk anymore. You know, clearly I'm not having a good day. Now, I may have said this earlier in the call. I'm not sure, but either I'm not having a good day because I'm just not doing things right, not seeing things correctly, or the market's just not behaving the way it normally does. Therefore, the way I trade doesn't match up very well with it. Can be either one. Don't really care. You know, to be honest with you, don't really care. All I know is that it's just not working out well today. Let's not damage the account. Let's go and preserve capital and not take the chance of going and messing something up really bad that I'm going to regret. You know, there are so many people who can tell you stories about how they were doing great, you know, for weeks, months, years even, and then destroyed in an account because they knew better than the market, and they were gonna go and fight on, even though you can tell that, you know, you look at their trading pattern for the day, you know, and it just wasn't very good. You know, they just weren't having very much success. Well, that's just the way it is sometimes.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, if you look at this outside trade, it wasn't actually outside bar. I thought it was, but this would have been a really nice trade coming above the 2,500. Could have picked up 6-7 pips on that. That would have been really nice. You know,
That would have put you back where you almost want to be for the day, huh?
exactly. Would have put me in a much better mood than I am right now. But at the same time, you know, if you find that, you know, you're finding yourself in, you know, in a situation where you're starting to get tired, you're starting to get frustrated with things, just walk away. You know, that's the important thing. Just walk away. You know, that's one of the good things about trading, as opposed to having a job. Okay, you know, if you have a job, let's say you're an auto mechanic, you know, and you're trying to go and get a part in. You know, we've all had this experience where, you know, if you've ever done any work on cars, you try to get a part in, and no matter what it seems you do, you just can't manage to get that part back in or that part out that you know is defective, and you're sitting there. Now imagine you're an auto mechanic and you're working in a shop, and there's a customer sitting in the waiting room. You can't walk away. You got to get it done. There's no choice in the matter. You got to get it done because that customer needs to get home that night. You know, and you're sitting there beating your hands up, literally getting all bloody on it sometimes, right? You got to get it done. Well, here's the advantage of trading. I'm having a day like that where I can't get this part in. I can't go and get this thing to work right. Walk away. There's nobody sitting at the front door saying, "Hey, where's my car?" You
Yeah.
know, I can walk away, and that's one of the great things about trading. That's why one of the reasons why I love trading so much is because it gives me that ability to go and do that.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And we're almost out of time, sir.
Yeah, I know. And you know what though? We it's like this is one of those this 5 minute candle here. We broke the 2,500. You know, that's a trade. It broke the previous H1 high. That was a trade. It just broke the Walmal line. I mean, this one candle, you know, if you were doing your stacking on, you'd probably would have that would have been your daily goal almost. So, fellow traders, you know, the one thing is, as Walmal says, you can walk away if you're not having a good day. Don't risk your account. Just say, hey, you come back tomorrow. And the other thing, maybe don't change anything because it could just be a market anomaly. So when you're at your trading terminal, always remember, never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.